Thank you for tuning in to V News. You're watching the bulletins. Coming up next are our top stories. Supreme Courts of Vietnam and the Republic of Korea promote cooperation. Small and medium-sized enterprises are urged to improve capital efficiency. Plan to build dossier for 10 singing adopted. A delegation of the Vietnam Supreme People's Court, led by Chief Justice Trương Hòa Bình, is paying an official visit to the Republic of Korea. The visit from August 16 to 23 aims to promote cooperative ties between the Supreme Courts of the two countries.
During the trip, Chief Judge Trương Hòa Bình has separate meetings with his Republic of Korea counterpart Yang Sung-tae, Minister of Court Administration Park Yong-dae, Deputy Minister for Multilateral and Global Affairs Shin Dong-ik, and President of the Korea International Cooperation Agency (KOICA) Kim Yong-mok. Bình thanked the Republic of Korea government, Supreme Court, and the Korea International Cooperation Agency for assisting the Vietnam People's Supreme Court in improving infrastructure and training personnel. He also informed the host of the implementation progress of a KOICA-funded project to enhance capacity for court officials in Vietnam, stressing that this is one of the most effective technical projects of the Vietnam People's Supreme Court. On this occasion, Chief Judge Bình granted insignias for the course of the Court of Vietnam to Chief Judge Yang Sung-tae, Minister Park Yong-dae, and some other individuals in recognition of their contributions to promoting cooperation between the two countries' courts. The Vietnamese delegation also visited the Republic of Korea Judicial Research and Training Center, the Supreme Court Information Technology Center, and the Seoul Family Court.
Senior economic officials from 10 ASEAN member nations are convening in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, to prepare for the 47th ASEAN Economic Ministers meeting and related meetings, scheduled to take place from August 22nd to 25th.
The Vietnamese delegation, led by Deputy Head of the Department of Multi-Border Commercial Policy under the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Lê Chiu Dũng, attended this meeting. Participants focused discussions on free trade agreements, economic integration, and issues which will be tabled at the upcoming ASEAN Economic Ministers meeting and related meetings. Following an ASEAN Economic Ministers meeting, consultation meetings between ASEAN economic ministers and their counterparts from China, Japan, the Republic of Korea, Australia, New Zealand, India, Canada, Russia, and the US will be held from August 23rd to 25th. Besides, the EU-ASEAN Trade Summit and the East Asia Investment Forum will take place on August 23rd and 24th, discussing ways to strengthen economic linkages with ASEAN's dialogue partners.
Opportunities and shortcomings in economic, trade, investment and tourism ties between Vietnam and China were the main topics at a seminar in Beijing on August 20th, aiming to help raise bilateral trade to $100 billion.
Vietnamese Ambassador Nguyễn Văn Thơ said the two countries should further tap their cooperation potential and facilitate import-export activities in a bid to balance the bilateral trade. Statistics released by the Chinese customs show that the two-way trade reached $41.8 billion in the first half of this year, a year-on-year increase of 16.6%. Of the amount, China's export turnover to Vietnam stood at about $31 billion, up 14.8%, while its imports from Vietnam were worth $10.8 billion, up 22.1%. China has been Vietnam's largest trade partner for 11 consecutive years. Vietnam also ranks second among ASEAN countries in terms of bilateral trade growth rate. The participants at the seminar put forth a host of solutions to push the trade ties, including negotiations to boost China's import of Vietnamese agricultural and industrial products and increase China's direct investment in goods production in Vietnam for export to China.
Vietnamese small and medium-sized enterprises should make better use of available capital and loans rather than becoming dependent on the government's support policies. Many experts shared this view during a seminar in Hanoi on August 21st.
Dr. Đinh Thị Thanh Vân from the Vietnam National University said at the seminar that domestic small and medium-sized enterprises contribute some 40% of the country's GDP, but they meet with difficulties in borrowing loans. Therefore, she urged the establishment of a credit guarantee system, which has been implemented in many countries around the world, to facilitate small and medium-sized companies to access loans from commercial banks, credit institutions, and finance leasing companies. Concurring with Vân's point of view, General Director of the Business Development Institute Lê Xuân Nghĩa proposed setting forth a loan settlement program for small and medium-sized enterprises. Meanwhile, all the participants called on small enterprises to improve their business administration while increasing their competitiveness in the context of Vietnam's intensive economic integration. Presiding over the discussion, Chairman of the Vietnam Association of Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises, Cao Sĩ Kiêm, advised enterprises to maximize the efficient use of capital.
In order to access loans and financial services, small and medium-sized enterprises must delve into and thoroughly understand relevant policies and mechanisms. Plus, these enterprises have to regularly inspect the use of their loans to quickly address shortcomings and reduce financial risks.
Vietnam has more than 500,000 small and medium-sized enterprises. Up to 70% of these companies are facing difficulties in accessing loans, while the rest struggling to repay their debts.
Measures to resolve difficulties and support businesses and investment by overseas Vietnamese were put forth at a conference held in Ho Chi Minh City on August 21st. Our reporters bring you more.
The event was also a great opportunity for enterprises invested by overseas Vietnamese to meet officials of the city's departments and industries to seek answers to problems they encounter in manufacturing and business activities. Issues discussed at the event focused on value-added tax for import-export goods, tax and customs declaration, and tax payment. Local authorities agreed to intensify supporting activities for enterprises conducting business in the city through specific solutions. In recent years, businesses run by overseas Vietnamese entrepreneurs have actively contributed to the city's economic development. In July, overseas remittances sent to the city reached $2.42 billion.
An international hospital, medical and pharmaceutical exhibition is taking place in Ho Chi Minh City. The event is part of efforts to promote the export of Vietnamese medical products and equipment. Over 250 businesses from 25 countries and territories are joining the exhibition, which will run until August 22nd. On display are various kinds of pharmaceuticals, food supplement, drug raw materials, pharmaceutical processing and packaging machines, medical equipment and materials used in hospitals, among others. The exhibition is expected to create an opportunity for exhibitors to exchange experience, seek partners, and expand markets. As part of the event, there will be a seminar introducing Vietnam's pharmaceutical market and trade policies, along with visits to some hospitals. Developing teacher training curricula was the focus of discussions during a two-day workshop which concluded in the northern province of Thái Nguyên on August 21st. Almost 400 delegates from both at home and abroad attended the event.
The participants shared experience in developing relevant curricula for teacher training and analyzed the renewal of curricula at domestic teacher training institutions. They also discussed approaches in changing teacher training methods or enhancing capacity of teachers, as well as training institutions, in order to better serve the universal education reform. Many stressed the need for change in urgent matters, such as the mindset of stakeholders, teaching methods, or relevant legal framework. The workshop is part of activities to realize a resolution of the Party Central Committee on Fundamental and Comprehensive Reform of Education, serving industrialization and modernization in the socialist-oriented market economy.
The prevalence of tobacco use in Hanoi is relatively high among men, standing at about 47.4%. The Hanoi Steering Committee on Smoking and Health said many smokers are not aware of the negative health effects of smoking, while others find it difficult to quit the habit.
The committee said Hanoi has undertaken various measures to prevent and control the negative effects of tobacco use. However, smoking is still rampant in many offices, stations and public transport means, though it is technically prohibited in such places. In addition, management officials of many organizations have not paid enough attention to controlling smoking at work, as many of them are regular smokers themselves. Authorities at local levels lack experience in organizing and managing anti-smoking activities and struggle to handle violations. Since early this year, the Municipal Department of Industry and Trade has focused on controlling illegal tobacco trade. The city's Market Watch team has busted 3 smuggling operations, seizing nearly 13,000 cigarette packs during the first half of this year. Meanwhile, smoke-free environments have been established at all medical establishments and no smoking signs have been put up at stations. The Hanoi Department of Health stressed the need for the city to step up communication campaigns on the harmful effects of tobacco use and the benefits of smoke-free environments in order to raise public awareness of the issue and urge management officials to take more responsibility in the program.
A 4-day festival of Vietnamese culinary delights is taking place in Beijing, China. We went along to take a look.
According to the organizing board, online registration for attendance has far exceeded expectations, showing the popularity of Vietnamese food. The festival, which will run through August 24th, will serve mainly traditional dishes such as pho, spicy beef noodle soup, and fried and fresh spring roll. The event is expected to promote Vietnamese culture and advance mutual understanding between the two peoples. The event is co-organized by the Vietnam Embassy in China, the Vietnam Center for Women and Development, and its Chinese counterpart.
The northern mountainous province of Tuyên Quang will host the 5th National Festival of Tan Singing from September 23rd to 26th. The art genre of the Tay, Nung and Thai ethnic groups is expected to seek UNESCO recognition as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. The Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism has approved a plan to compose a dossier on the issue.
The ministry said the dossier compilation for national nomination and then submission to UNESCO aims to honor and promote the heritage value of the traditional music genre to international friends. It is expected to helping local communities, especially the youth, gain awareness of and raise the sense of responsibility for preserving the heritage values. It also promotes cultural exchanges between the Tay, Nung and Thai people and other ethnic groups in Vietnam and other countries where musical genres similar to Tan singing is practiced. Tan singing is a unique combination of music and song and traditionally accompanied by a handmade gourd lute called đàn tính or tính tàu. It is believed to have been handed down from the god belonging to a mysterious world to which only Ông Tan and Bà Tan can contact. During rituals, Ông Tan and Bà Tan sing and play a musical instrument at the same time while presenting offerings to God, representing the ethnic community's contact with God and asking Him for things such as good health, bumper crops, happiness, and a long life. Closely linked with the spiritual life of ethnic minority groups who often use ceremonial offerings to treat illnesses, Tan singing is seen as therapy together with medicine, helping to ease the worries of patients and their families.
And that was the end of our news bulletin. Thank you for your attention. For more information, please log on to our website at www.vietnamplus.vn. We'll see you soon.